Spice Sweat Defense helps keep me feeling dry. How would they know I worked hard? I gotta make stuff harder. Push my body to its limits. Take on more than is expected of me. Always be struggling. There, that's the perfect amount of hard.
50% of you just got what you deserve, and the other 50% of us are going down the fucking porcelain throne with you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Jim Cornette Experience. I am Jim Cornette. I'm on MLWRadio.com, and right here, as I sit here, right now, I don't give a fuck, because I am fucking enraged today at the stupidity that has gone on in our country when we can let a walking tribble become the most powerful man on the face of the planet Earth and put everybody literally on this planet in fucking danger of some kind of catastrophe. And we're going to talk more about that later on, and with me is my equally disgusted co-host from the motherfucker's hometown, New York. I knew, sooner or later, I knew one of you New Yorkers was going to cause the downfall of civilization. It's the great Brian Last, everybody.
Aloha, Jim.
Yeah, fuck you too. I don't care. Seriously, I feel like I've just went to a funeral. Because that's basically what we did. We just went to a fucking funeral of common sense prevailing in the United States of America. I'm glad I've already gone to England and come back, because I would be ashamed. I wouldn't be able to look anybody in the eye. I would feel like I had a sign around my neck that said, I'm a stupid fucking American, and I've just put the global economy and the world safety at risk by electing a fraud and a con man and a megalomaniac to the goddamn leader of the free world. I don't know what to say about this.
I don't know either. We went to a funeral. Unfortunately, it was our own funeral.
Yes. And before we get into all of this and dissect why we're all fucked, let me just mention that Star Maker Bolin had his first of 2 surgeries yesterday as we taped this on Wednesday morning. In his weight loss program or whatever. I don't want to go into all the gory details of what was done to him, but believe it or not, he was cracking jokes 2 hours after surgery, and he was in his bed and up and about going to the bathroom and doing things. I didn't witness this personally. And he's being discharged this afternoon after 24 hours, so he didn't even have the common courtesy to die on the table, and so that way I wouldn't be so upset about Trump. But that's Star Maker for you. He's only thinking about himself. And we're going to have an update on his progress next week, but I just want you to know that I was there, Brian. After we had the contentious sign-off on the program a few weeks ago, last time he was on, I was there at the hospital in the waiting room with him. I walked with him all the way to when they wheeled him in those double doors, and the doors shut behind him, and my nose was pressed against the window, and he still would not tell me where the key to the lockbox was.
I just want to also send out my best wishes and a get well soon to my pal Ken. I hope everything goes okay, and we'll talk to you soon, friend.
And friend, we've got some good news on the program, and believe me, we're going to need all of it we can get in the coming weeks and months as we slide into a recession. I can save the Cult of Cornette members some more money. Because our friends at the Dollar Shave Club have an offer that saves everybody a lot of money. We've talked about them before on the program, where you have to go out, and believe me, I don't want to go out away from the house any more than I have to at this point now. I do not want to leave my home. I'm afraid when the riots break out. So instead of going to the drugstore or the grocery store and having the locked cabinet where they send you razors to your home, to your door, so you can open the door a crack, pull the box in, slam it shut real quick, and try to forget that we've fucked ourselves for 4 years. But anyway, I digress. The point is, you can order these bad boys, and they are bad boys, including the 6-blade executive razor. And we talked about the Dr. Carver's shave butter and all the lotions and potions that they sent me to make me smell real good. But basically now, DollarShaveClub.com has an offer to prove how amazing their shave really is. All new members can get started with a 1-month trial of any razor for just $1, including the 6-blade executive razor. That's their best for $1, and delivered right to the door. So once again, you can look, smell, and shave like $1 million without paying for it. Here's your chance to discover why millions and millions of members like me love Dollar Shave Club. Get your 1-month trial of any razor for $1. No catch, no hidden fees, commitments. You can cancel whenever you like. Nothing to lose. Get the details now at dollarshaveclub.com/Cornette. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Cornette. And these are safety razors, so you don't have to worry about if you get these as a present, somebody, because of the current political climate, slitting their fucking wrists. You don't have to worry because they're a safety razor. You can't cut yourself. Just the beard. And I got to say one more thing. There's one more sponsor we got to mention that's a new one this week on the program, who has reminded me of a Ric Flair story. I don't know if I ever told you this or not. You remember when Flair was on TBS in the 80s, he always came out, he had like 1 week he'd come out in the powder blue pants and the jet black sport coat with the silk pocket square and the red shirt, and he's carrying the belt, and he's styling and profiling, right?
Of course.
And he got all his stuff, all of his clothes, at this one place, this one men's store. I can't remember what the name of it was. It was Michael's or Joe's or Bill's or whatever, in Kansas City. I was Kansas City by the Nature Boy, because the Sansabelt slacks were real popular back then in the 80s, of course, that, polyester. And the Sansabelts were good for me as a manager because I could take bumps, right? And I could, and the seats wouldn't rip out because they had give to them, and you didn't need a belt, so there was some gives. It was like working pants, right? But he could dress up and make them look really sharp. So I asked him one night, I said, "Oh, Jesus, that's a cool color slacks you got there. Where'd you get them?" And he told me, and I said, "Well, boy, I can't find them around here." And he said, "Michael's has them, Joe's has them, whatever." He said, "Let me call them for you." He said, "What's your size?" I told him whatever size it was, right? And he said, "I'll have them send you one of each of their colors." I think, "Oh, this is great. I'll get 10 or 12 new pairs of pants," and they're like $35. When in Charlotte at the time, they were like 50 or 60 at the mall, right? So I'm saving money. I'm getting. Time they were like 50 or 60 at the mall, right? So I'm saving money. I'm getting like 10 pairs of pants. The fucking package shows up. They had 33 different pairs of colors of Sansabelt slacks. It cost me $2,000 or whatever it was by the time, with the shipping and the tax and everything. And what am I going to say? Oh, Rick, because he knew how much money we were making. I just didn't spend as much money as he did on clothes. But what am I going to say? Oh, Rick, Jesus Christ. And I couldn't send them back. Then that would get, it'd be like the clothes the suit Nazi. They tell Rick, no suits for you. So it was like a $2,000 fucking box of pants. But here is how you can save money. And remember, we're all going to need to save money when Trump throws the global economy into crisis. And you can look good at the same time. And Brian, I know you're a dapper young man. You could have been a male model. I've got some issues with my fitting in normal suits. Right, you get off the rack, you sit down, and you got the spread, and they just don't account for that. When they dress the people in the catalogs and guys with wonderful physiques like you, or you sit down, and you got some spread in the pants. Indochino.com, by the way, is a place where you can go online and you can get suits, but you can get them made to order. You can, instead of just buying them off the rack, basically what you do is you either go to indochino.com or they got 9 North American showrooms. You're in New York, they got one up there. You pick from the fabrics and patterns. They got hundreds of them. You choose the customizations, the lapels, pleats, jacket linings, all that good stuff. Measure yourself, send the body measurements in, and basically you get a box in about 4 weeks with a brand new made-to-order suit in it. And guess what? Because I just went over to, I won't mention their name, but they're one of the warehouse places that men get suits. Fuck! All their pants, when I try to sit down in them, it squeezes the boys badly. So you can get this stuff made to order, and you can still do TV or appearances or autograph sessions or whatever the Cult of Cornette members are going to be doing. We're all going to be signing autographs soon on unemployment forms. Anyway, this week I can save you money, folks, because my listeners can get any premium Indochino suit for $389 at indochino.com when entering experience at checkout. That's half off. That's 50% off the regular price for a made-to-measure premium suit. And the shipping is free. You don't pay for that. So indochino.com, experience for any premium suit for $389 and free shipping. And they've got holiday deals right now on shirts, pants, products, etc. You can look like $1 million because you won't have it. Because did I mention Donald Trump is about to crash the fucking global economy?
He's the type of three-point specialist
well, should we talk about it?
I guess so.
I got this email last week, and I said, I'm going to read this on it because I thought obviously sanity was going to prevail and Clinton was going to win, but I'm going to read this email on the air and then comment on it. But my comments have changed somewhat from what they originally were. Allow me to extrapolate. This is from Laszlo. He doesn't say where he's from, but he's not from here, obviously. With a name like Laszlo, you'd be from somewhere else. Hey, Jim, just wanting to start off that I'm a big fan of yours and an even bigger fan of progressive liberal ideologies, though what I'm about to say may come off as harsh, but I mean you no personal offense. But as a non-American, I want Trump to win because Americans deserve it. Your citizens have allowed the U.S. to be the world's greatest threat. You brain-dead lemmings have fallen for every boogeyman the news has thrown at you. You proudly invade sovereign nations, often arming them beforehand, and make no mention of the millions of civilians you killed in the name of fighting terror. Who the fuck is inflicting the lion's share of terror here? You're so pathetic you can't even stop mass shootings that occur virtually daily because you'd rather have guns than a place without mass shootings. How the fuck do we not have a travel advisory against you dipshits? Any other country in the world with armed and dangerous locals killing dozens weekly is getting a warning. Trump embodies what you are, short-sighted, dangerous consumerists that don't have the self-awareness and intelligence to understand how full of shit you are. He's the perfect choice. And after 4 years of Trump, or 8 because American stupidity cannot be underestimated, maybe then you can realize how much of a laughingstock your nation and citizenry is to the world. What a fucking backward cesspool of greed and corruption you stand for at the beginning of every NFL game. Maybe then you can understand that being a patriot isn't about bombing children, encouraging big businesses, and raping the poor. Maybe somewhere down the line, an American won't have a negative connotation in 9/10 of the world. But for that to happen, you need a lesson, and I hope that lesson is Trump. Again, huge fan and love the podcast. I was all ready to celebrate Hillary Clinton winning by cutting Laszlo a new asshole with a promo and saying, fuck you, we still proved that we know what the fuck we're doing. But now, I have to apologize to Laszlo because apparently he's right. Apparently, I knew there wasn't enough racists. I knew there wasn't enough billionaires. I knew there wasn't enough religious fanatics. But I didn't count on one thing, Brian. There are enough stupid fucking white people.
I don't think you can ever discount the amount of ignorant people in this country. And
they fell for it. They felt not only that they fell for Trump. This is wrong on so many levels. They fell for Republican ideology again.
setting the tone.
Oh, the last administration was so successful. In 8 years, he got us in 2 wars with the wrong fucking people, crashed the global economy, made us the laughingstock of the fucking world, was a bumbling fucking mushmouth dipshit that was so unpopular when he left office that he couldn't even campaign for the fucking person who was trying to replace him on the Republican side because he was toxic. He was like TNA of politics. He had the smell of grisly death on him. And 8 years later, after the guy, Barack Obama, has come along, and despite every bit of Republican obstruction and every bit of Republican obstacle they put in his way, and they said no to everything, and they shut the government down, and they fucking whined and griped about everything, something the Democrats never did except over gun control when young, innocent school children were being mowed down by lunatics that the Republicans don't want to do anything about. After 8 years of the guy coming along and getting Bin Laden and saving the auto industry and the stock.
I'm pulling my way.
Getting Bin Laden and saving the auto industry, and the stock market is triple what it was under Bush, and etc., etc. They not only vote another Republican administration back in, but they give it to the Senate and the fucking House and the fucking majority of the state governors, and now they've got the Supreme Court picks. The last time this happened was in 1928. Does anybody remember what happened in 1929? You fucking morons. Okay, number one, the Republican ideology. Just that they go there anywhere with anybody. I don't care who, if they nominated goddamn Bill Gates or fucking Stephen Hawking, just because they're Republicans. And they fucked us for 8 years, and then they've tried to fuck us for the last 8. Done everything they could. So that you would want to vote for a Republican, despite how much you might dislike the Democrat. That's goddamn ludicrous. Then, the Republican that you vote for, you mean to tell me that there are seriously 50 million misguided, gullible motherfuckers in this country that cannot look at him, cannot listen to any words that come out of his mouth, cannot read any story by any credited news organization, and I'm talking about, yes, Newsweek and New York Times and Washington Post and big newspapers and magazines with journalists that know what the fuck they're doing, instead of a goddamn guy that works at the fucking Jiffy Lube or a coal miner in West Virginia that goddamn gets his news off this Breitbart.com if they know how to get on a computer, or maybe just goddamn listens to their brother-in-law when they're out drinking beer at the cookout. These actual reputable news-gathering organizations and reporting organizations all told you he's a dumb fuck, he's a fraud, he's a con man, he lies. They've showed the videotape of him lying every time it comes out of his mouth. You know that he's got fucking anger management issues, just like I do. You know that he's goddamn stays up late at night and fucking engages in Twitter wars with fucking beauty queens and goddamn foreign fucking leaders. Now he's gonna have his finger on the button. You dumb shits. You can't see through that every time he gets up in front of people with that fucking obnoxious smirk on his fucking face. And every time he says this shit, if they were good ideas, and some of them are good ideas, as Bolin said on this program one time, you know what TNA needs to do? They need to do more of the good shit and less of the bad shit. That's exactly what he says. We need to make more jobs. No shit, Sherlock. Thank you, Watson, my pipe, you fucking idiot. Of course we do. But you don't have any details about how we're going to do that because all of your shit is fictitious, you fucking Cheeto twat waffle. You're not going to build a wall across Mexico they're already backing up on. You're not going to forcefully deport 10 million people that they're already backing up on. You're not going to goddamn do any of the other fucking things that you've said that everybody was out there was going rah-rah at the trailer park. You're not going to do any of those things because they're physically or financially impossible. But it sounded good. And that's what 50 million Americans fell for a fucking guy doing a wrestling promo. What did I always teach the wrestlers in fucking wrestling school about promos? If you're wanting to be a babyface, you go out there and you say what the people wish they could say if they had the platform, and then you tell them that you agree with them and you tell them you're going to do something about it. That's all it fucking takes, and you fell for it because you couldn't see that this fucking guy was as full of shit as a Christmas turkey. Every time he opens his mouth, he's out for himself. He does, as we said, he's been diagnosed by people with goddamn mental disorders to some degree, and plus he's just a rich, clueless fuck that's lived on other... He's like, do you want Vince McMahon to be the president? Bruce Pritchard used to joke, the Artful Dodger over here at MLW Radio. He used to joke that Vince had not been to the grocery but for himself since 1983. When's the last time you think Donald Trump went to Kroger? Never. Fuck. It on so many levels. On so many levels, this is ludicrous. Even if you agreed with the Republican ideology, which once again is to say no to everything and not do anything good for anybody, and not keep track of anything. Even if you thought that what Donald Trump was saying was in some way feasible and possible to do, and even if in some way you thought that he actually meant what he was saying, he still doesn't know how this shit is supposed to work. And I'm sorry, he ain't gonna go in and shake shit up now. He's gonna go in there and he's gonna realize he's fucking lost, and he's gonna be the promo guy. And this fucking religious zealot, fanatic fuck, Mike Pence, is going to be basically the president. And they're going to pick all the Supreme Court justices. And Trump, if he ain't a billionaire now, he sure will be by the time he gets finished being president. Because you just know that somebody's going to win the fucking pony in the Trump family. I'm gobsmacked. I'm outraged. I'm ashamed to be an American citizen that because there's half of us, well, more than half, there's the children who couldn't vote. So we have visited this upon our children. That sounds biblical. If it ain't, it ought to be. There's some people that didn't vote, and you sharing the fucking guilt and the culpability, motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm pointing, because I was over there voting. Even though I knew Kentucky, because 6,000 people make their fucking living in the coal mining industry here in this goddamn state, that naturally millions were going to vote against fucking Hillary Clinton for trying to rightfully put the coal mining business out of business, along with the buggy whip factories and the goddamn kerosene lamp fucking factories. Jesus Christ. And, here's the thing. I'm mad. Now I'm disgusted. Right before I was mad. And I was mad on behalf of myself and everybody else. Now I'm just disgusted, and I'm going to take myself out of it. Because here's the thing. How is this going to just affect me? Let me go ahead and be all self-centered now. And just think about me. How's this going to affect me? I'm not going to have an abortion. That's pretty safe to say, right? Wouldn't you agree with that? So just because it's going to be horrors and burden and suffering on millions of women when they overturn the abortion laws and take control of the Republicans.
Thanks for driving the new Buick. So where are we going for lunch?
I know a place with a really good Philly cheesesteak.
Oh yeah? Where's that?
Philly? Yes. Want to make some money? You could get a paper route. I'd be happy to drive in my new Buick.
What's a paper route? Oh no, good luck to get out again.
Just kidding. Don't worry, I'll take the new Buick and you can fill it for us.
Lucky!
Introducing the reimagined 310 horsepower Buick LaCrosse. You'll find any reason to get behind the wheel.
The abortion laws and take control. The Republicans, they want you to have all the rights except any ones they don't want you to have. So when they take control of all the women's ovaries and uteruses, in the country, and a bunch of unwanted children are born to be abused, and women's lives are in danger because of health conflicts, etc., or it just makes it more burdensome for them to go hundreds of miles, especially if they can't afford it. Whatever the case may be, it's not going to affect me. So it just bad for them. Oh well, I'll get over it. Don't affect me. I'm not going to, if we get in a war because he fucking in the middle of blowing Putin, somehow he rakes him with his teeth, and Putin gets mad at his bitch and tries to slap him around. If we get in a war, I'm not going to go. I'm too old, and nobody would want me fighting in the trenches. So everybody out there that's got sons and daughters that are going to get killed, well, I'm sorry, crummy for you. And speaking of sons and daughters, I don't need the free college tuition so that I can educate myself and get a job in the real world of today instead of being a coal miner so they can keep you down there in the hole where they want you. You fucking idiots. You vote against your best interests every time. I'm about done with you. And yes, I did call you Kentucky motherfuckers hillbillies on Twitter, and I can do that because I'm a hillbilly too, because I'm from Kentucky, but at least I educated myself. You fucking piss poor goddamn excuses for fucking human beings. So anyway, I don't need, I'm not planning on having the Caitlyn Jenner treatment anytime soon. I'm not going to let anybody chop my dick off. It's barely there as it is. I don't need the LGBT rights, right? Because I'm neither L, G, B, nor T. So fuck all those people. That doesn't matter to me. I'm 55 years old, so I won't live long enough. At least I hope I don't. You know, for the planet to melt around me, because these fucking idiots that we just put in power in the nation, in the leading nation in the world, think that climate change was a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese to get an advantage in trade, because they don't believe in science, because they don't believe in knowledge. I won't live long enough to see the planet melt, so that doesn't bother me. Basically, I'm going to say, since America didn't even really speak, because when you think about it, Hillary Clinton still won the popular vote. It's just because of this, the rigged system we got. I don't know who told me that. I heard somewhere the system was rigged. That the person who got more votes in the United States of America is not the President of the United States. That's happened actually a number of times to the Democratic Party. I wonder why it keeps happening to the Democratic Party instead of the Republicans. Is there a thing called gerrymandering and et cetera, but nevertheless, the same thing happened. We could have avoided George Bush because Al Gore got more votes than George Bush, and we could have avoided 2 wars and a recession and a global financial crisis and all that stuff, but because of the way we pick our leaders, the person who gets the most votes does not win in that rigged system. So at any rate, the country has spoken, and as long as he doesn't crash the economy and cause me to have to be out on the street corner selling pencils out of a tin cup, I guess I will just accept this horse shit. And we all should. All the smart 50 million should just say, oh, well, there was about 1.5 million fewer of us, but they live in the right places. So now we have a bunch of fucking maniacs running our country and scaring the world to death. And this is preferable to the intelligent, articulate, reasonable, smart, cool, calm, collected black guy that we have just seen what a leader looks like. So now we're going to go as far the opposite direction as possible because we didn't like the fact that his shit worked and we were wrong because we're either misguided billionaires, religious fanatics, hillbillies, coal miners, or gullible. Did I mention fucking gullible?
That's why it's so important.
Is there anything else? How else will I not be affected, Brian? Or what about you? Is there any other way that you will not be affected when he fucks shit up?
Jeez, I don't know. I mean, you know,
Can you be selfish too? Because you're younger than I am. You got longer. You could see the fucking the ice caps down to the drinks, the ice in fucking Ric Flair's cocktail glass. You could see that. You're young enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. First let me say here.
How do you like melting? Do you like visits at the spa?
Well, I'm about to find out. For several weeks here on the show, maybe even longer than that, I said that there was no way Trump could win. And I was wrong. So I feel like I've said it enough. I need to come on here now and say the opposite. I was wrong. clearly. I also said that I was going to vote for Hillary and support Hillary, even though I thought she was the wrong candidate. I mentioned I thought Biden would have been better. I think this would have been a different election with Bernie, because Bernie would have been able to get the angry white voter who, there's an expression that people don't vote for who they like or don't like. They vote for their issues. And the economic problems in this country are real, and people feel them. And while the stock market has done great the last several years, and quite frankly, that's been good for me. I'm sure it's been good for you in many ways. It hasn't affected in a positive way so many people in this country. And someone like Bernie to those people the same way Trump did. And
let me ask you a question, and then hold that thought. But let me ask you a question. Doesn't it make more sense, for fuck's sake, the fact that we were in a recession where oil wasn't even worth anything, everything was down. A guy comes along, and because of the stimulus and because of the policies they put in place, especially in the first 2 years when they weren't so obstructed, even though, by the way, Mitch McConnell said, we're going to make Obama a one-term president, and he was impotent with that, just like he is with his weak chin and everything else. But the idea you want the pilot of your plane to crash because you don't like him is fucking stupid. I'm the opposite right now. I don't want Trump to fuck up. I'm hoping that he doesn't fuck up as bad as I think he will. So that's a little bit different. But, and
I agree with you.
But the thing is, with Bernie, the angry white people, but why would you vote for someone who so clearly not only doesn't know what they're doing and is full of shit, but
Girl, you standing in shit. Nasty. Don't wear them on the train. Take a whole one too, smell like shit.
He doesn't know what they're doing and is full of shit, but also is so far removed from you. These people living in trailer parks and the working class white people, the manufacturing jobs that they knew aren't coming back because that was after World War II when the entire rest of the world had been bombed. And we were the only ones that could manufacture shit. That's gone, and unless he plans to bomb everybody, which I'm not taking off the table for him. But why would you vote against the party that represents anything? I don't work for the minimum wage. Good, because they ain't gonna raise it. They represent everything that would be detrimental to any lower income, lower educated level, poor person of any color.
I agree with you, but I think that Hillary Clinton would have done better for the economy. I just don't think that point translated well to people who really cared about the economy but didn't follow the Financial Times.
So in other words, the people that were upset about something but didn't know anything about it.
Exactly. Because she's not speaking to it the way that a alleged billionaire is, who's out there saying we're going to win and I'm going to do this. He didn't give any details. He spoke in the most simple language possible, which was what many of those people wanted. And again, I'm not justifying it.
You're just explaining it.
I'm doing an autopsy is what I'm doing. And it's frustrating for me in a lot of ways because I've always lived in a progressive state. I've always lived in an area of the country that's blue. That is usually a socially liberal place. We have our share of conservatives up here, but socially, this is a liberal place. And the frustration for me is whether it is a Democrat or a Republican winning, as we've seen from the last several election cycles, the same pattern is in place, where the entire West Coast and most of, if not all of the Northeast, with, Chicago and a couple other states thrown in there, will be blue, and everything else will be red. It ends up where you have Tomorrowland and Frontierland, and I understand why Frontierland doesn't want Tomorrowland putting their values or opinions on them, but it goes the other way around. And, there's that famous speech that Barack Obama made in 2004 at the Democratic Convention where he said, there's not a red state of America and a blue state of America, there's the United States. No, there are two Americas. And this election really bared that out, because out of a country with 300 million people, a little over 100 million people voted. Obviously many of the 300 million are children. They can't vote, but only around 100 million voted. By the way, I'm going to give a big fuck you to everyone who voted for fucking Gary Johnson.
Oh, for God's sake! Yeah, and there was a difference right there. Of not only would she won the popular vote, but if she got she would have basically the difference between Johnson and Clinton added together and Trump. It was, you know what I'm saying? He just muddied the shit up.
Yeah, and when you vote for someone who has no chance of winning, your vote doesn't matter. Your vote doesn't matter. It's
not a protest vote. You ended up with the shit you try to protest, which is being fucked.
Yeah, so, it's frustrating to me what can happen. And now, look, I'm going to look on the bright side. And, as much as I didn't like George W. Bush, I had the same approach to him, more in 2000 when he came in than 2004, because I thought, by that point, I couldn't believe that anyone was still on the George W. Bush, Dick Cheney bandwagon, and everything I thought ended up being true. Everything that we saw happening, that anyone with their eyes open could have seen, ended up coming to fruition. I'm going to approach this the same way, where I'm going to try to be optimistic. I'm going to try to be hopeful. I'm going to try to wish for the best, because at the end of the day, what I've said all along here on your show, Jim, is that Donald Trump is a disingenuous fraud. And I'm going to hope that applies here, because up until 3 years ago, he was as liberal as they got. He was a Democrat until he saw an opening. And like you said, this is a wrestling promo. That's what it is. I've seen many people who are friends with him on TV saying, this was never Donald. He was never like this. Do you believe that he was just secretly a maniac all these years? Or do we believe that he saw an opening in America? He noticed what was happening with Alex Jones and Breitbart and the ultra-right wing, the alternative right, and he said, I have an opening here. I can exploit this. And someone who loves his ego figured out a way to get into the White House. Let's see what happens when he's in there. Paul Ryan gave a speech. He's optimistic, but he doesn't know what to expect. And none of these guys do. We don't know who he's going to be in the White House. And to follow up on your point earlier, I agree with you that, he doesn't know what he's doing, because he looked, considering it was his victory speech.
Oh, and he was reading that. He was reading that off the teleprompter, and badly, with that sable deer caught in the headlights fucking look in his eyes.
He looked frightened. Like, holy shit, it's actually happening. Yeah.
But did you see everybody that was on the stage? See, this is what I'm talking about. I agree. He is a disingenuous fraud and con man and a fucking demagogue and et cetera, and truth ain't going to get in the way of a good story. But now that he's done this, he's going to be... there was a movie. There has been movies about this where, Pauly Shore suddenly became the president. And that's what it feels like in one respect. But also, there was a movie where they fucking appoint the leader, the president, or whoever it was. He's just the promo guy. He just goes out and because people believe in him because he's a gimmick and he cuts the promo, and then everybody behind the scenes is running shit. Look at who he had on the stage. A rogues gallery of corrupt politicians, religious fanatics, and goddamn reality TV stars. Everybody from that Omarosa, my God, somebody ought to hold her down and bleach her white for being a traitor to her race, just fucking blatantly. Chris Christie, who's just been in a goddamn scandal. He's just a corrupt New Jersey politician. Mike Pence. Fucking goddamn, he's talking about Newt Gingrich. There's that fucking little rat, Reince Priebus. If they reshoot Dracula, he'll be Renfield. It's a goddamn, it's a fucking freak show up there of every person who's, did Rick Giuliani, the original, Max Schreck stand-in and Nosferatu.
Yeah, he looks like the father of Kevin Dunn. That's what's scaring me, is that these stories started coming out a few days ago that if Trump did win, they're talking about, allegedly, Rudy Giuliani as the Attorney General and Newt Gingrich as the Secretary of State.
That's the thing. All those people on the stage have helped.
As we get into the meat of the second half here.
They've got promos for him, and he's going to reward them all, and they're on the fringes of current politics, if that, and he don't give a shit. But they're all going to be working in conjunction with each other to build. Trump may think, I can be the first trillionaire out of this. This is a great gig. And along the way, he's going to give in to whatever. He doesn't have to be. If he's a liberal, he don't care. He's going to do exactly the same thing in his life he's always done. And nothing's going to apply to him. The law's not going to apply to him because he's the guy making the fucking laws. What it's going to be is all of his fucking minions are going to get all this conservative horse shit passed and fuck the country for 30 years. Oh, and Obamacare. We forgot to mention that. Take that away immediately. Now, once again, I do not qualify for Obamacare. I have to pay full price for my own insurance, and it is expensive. But I don't have to worry about, let's say, for example, that I come down with whooping belch. Well, on my current insurance, it would pay for it. But if I lose that insurance or give that insurance up and get a better deal, then I have pre-existing whooping belch, and I can't get insurance because they've wiped out that provision in Obamacare. Or for the 20 million people that weren't covered beforehand, what the fuck do they do? Or for somebody to keep an eye on the goddamn insurance company, or the good things about Obamacare instead of trying to fix it. And once again, it was like me trying to fucking finish Vince Russo's booking. It's harder to finish something that was fucked up to begin with than it is to do something starting from scratch. They should have gone, like every other civilized country in the world. Well, we can't say we're civilized now. Single payer. It's a health care.
Yeah.
In a country this successful, this prosperous, should be a right, not a privilege. That's why we pay fucking taxes, you dumb fucks. Not to goddamn build 8 armies that can blow up the world 47 times, but to take care of the people and the fucking place we live in. It's our fucking house. Every once in a while we have to get new gutters, fix the place up. Now he's talking about, did you see this? Besides, the market went down 800 points overnight and then came back up because the people figured, wait a minute, he's not going to take office for 2 months, so we've still got a chance to make some money. He comes out and says, we're going to start by rebuilding our infrastructure, our bridges, and our blah, 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 and we're going to put millions of people to work. That's the same thing Obama said 8 years ago, and the Republicans wouldn't let him fucking do it. You dumb fucks. They even said this on the news after he said that. They said, well, the Republicans are not going to allow that because you'd have to use tax money. They're not going to do anything they can't pay for, and they're not going to raise taxes. They're going to lower taxes, which is part of why every economist has said that Hillary Clinton's plan would add slow growth to the economy, and Trump's plan would push us into a recession. So Trump's plan is not going to be implemented because the Congress is not going to allow it to put us into a recession, I hope. So then he's just shit the bed all over that. Everything he said is either a lie, it's impossible physically or financially, or it just ain't going to happen because of the conditions that prevail. And the Democrats still have something to say, so they can't, even if they have to do a sit-in on the goddamn floor of the fucking Senate or whatever, they can't let these people go too far and do irreversible damage. But once again, so I'll keep my insurance and I'll just pay for it, but all you other motherfuckers that actually didn't have any insurance at all and all the people went bankrupt, etc., pre-existing conditions, well, fuck y'all. Just fuck you. Because 50 million of us 1/5 of the country said, and
now the healthcare providers and the drug pharmaceutical companies are going to be more powerful than ever.
well, they ain't gonna have anybody to watch over them.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna end all oversight on our food, on our fucking water, on our environment, on our banks, on our financial institutions, because that way, and Wall Street may benefit from this. But Wall Street, as you mentioned earlier in the program, has already benefited quite a bit from Obama over the last 8 years, and there's still people that are pissed off and people that it hadn't helped out. So imagine when a billionaire that knows a lot of other billionaires that he owes favors to and that owe favor to him suddenly gets control of the country and how business operates. You dumb shits. You think a business, the last thing we want running the government is a businessman, because business people are inherently crooked, and the more successful you are, with very few exceptions, the crookeder you have to be. You think somebody gets to be a billionaire by being fair to people?
Well, you know,
Delusional fucks.
the two things we know for sure about Donald Trump, which are interesting, and it's going to be a very interesting time now. You know, if you're someone like what you said earlier, who can sit back and not really have this directly affect every area of your life, if you're in that fortunate position, you can sit back and really watch this. We know two things. One is Donald Trump's entire life, and you could look at this objectively. He says what he has to say to get what he wants, and that's what he did. That's what the primaries were. That's what this election was. The other thing we know is that truly, deep down, he wants everyone to like him and love him. That's why he gets so insecure and upset when anyone, even the most mild way, attacks him, and he goes crazy. He wants to be a popular guy. I truly believe that.
My God, it's Vince.
It is.
It's fucking Vince. Vince McMahon is the president of the United States.
There's the screen.
So, I mean, hopefully, you know, again, I'm trying to look at the positives of what a Trump presidency could be. And again, he gets to that office. He likes running things. He likes people liking him and not criticizing him. He's always been a liberal. We really, truly don't know. You know, he read the list of Supreme Court justices that he was going to potentially nominate. He never saw that list before they gave it to him. He doesn't know who any of those people are. We really, truly don't know. We're in uncharted waters right now. I mean, so is he.
I wish somebody had said to him before he got that list, name a Supreme Court justice. Just so
he would have said Diana Ross.
Yeah.
But, you know, so like I said, and I agree with you about the other thing, too. I think Mike Pence is a creepy motherfucker. You want to talk disingenuous? Him and Paul Ryan both, every time I see them speak, they speak in such a condescending, forced, fake manner. If you've ever done any public speaking, and I know you have.
It's a Southern preacher thing, where like, I know something you don't know, and now I'm going to smarten you up.
It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit. And, well, and let me ask you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, wasn't there a story that Pence actually wanted people with AIDS to undergo gay conversion therapy to get their medicine?
I believe so, but I think in general he believes you could pray the gay away, which is just unbelievable in 2016. I'm curious, Jim, what was your night like? Like, you know, did you sit down? What channel were you watching? At what point did you realize it was over?
I actually came back from the hospital after Bolin got out of surgery and out of recovery, and we got the bad news that he was all right. I came home and sat down, and I was obviously watch MSNBC because I'm a huge Rachel Maddow fan, and I like Chris Matthews, and also their broadcasters actually speak common sense. And about 9:30, I realized, oh shit, this looks dangerous. And so then a mixture of shock, dread, fear, and nausea set in. And I sat watching that shit until 6 o'clock this morning, at which point I laid down next to Harley Quinn and cuddled with her.
Ever since I took this case, weird stuff's happening to me.
Are you Billy McBride? Huh? Billy McBride. He was one of the best trial lawyers ever. What happened? Michelle left marks on the bottom fell out. He drank too much.
So accurate. Just the right amount.
What happened on the book?
You're hiding something big here.
There's one of the top 3 law firms in the world. And then there's us.
Long as the state now.
Billy created this story.
I created this one. He will throw us into David and Goliath.
Step out of the vehicle, sir. Sir, turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Your ex-husband needs to learn some boundaries. He would love nothing more than to destroy you.
Bottom line, what will it take to make it go away? There's not enough money in the world to settle this case.
I'm actually doing this again. So get ready for it, will you? I laid down next to Harley Quinn and cuddled with her for an hour and a half to try to not break into tears at the thought of what the fuck is going to happen, and then got back up this morning and sat in stunned silence watching the funeral processions of everything go on. So it was an exciting night. We can't wag our finger, as Stephen Colbert might say, at the UK anymore, or at England anymore for the Brexit thing, because this is much worse.
And it's going to spread. It's going to hit France now. This is now a worldwide phenomenon. It happened in England. It happened here. It's going to keep happening for a while now. It's
because apparently people never learn.
Yeah, it's
apparently people never learn. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat its mistakes, and apparently that takes into account a lot of people, because Republican administrations equal recessions and depressions and deprivations. Conservative ideology is a backlash from people who just can't handle that other people are actually happy. I don't know how to explain why people think the way that they think. But here's an idea. Maybe we can turn this into something positive for the Cult of Cornette listeners. If there is still an experience, if there's a podcasting industry, however long that this lasts, it was 240 years for America. It's been a good run. Maybe we ought to open this up to the listeners and have a contest. And you can send in your submissions to what you think Donald Trump will fuck up royally first. Will it be a war? Will it be the economy? What major? I mean, and if he lasts 4 years, and here's the horrible thing. The horrible thing is he's 70 years old, but we can't hope for a heart attack because then we got Pence.
Yeah,
right?
I thought that too. Yeah.
So if he lasts 4 years, it's not going to take 4 years for some major scandal. He's still under investigation on the Trump University thing, right? The president is going to be going to court.
Yeah, right after the election. I think the next month, maybe.
And the president is also being audited by the IRS.
Well, he says that's not been verified.
But wouldn't you think that if you're the president of the United States and you're being audited by the IRS, that the IRS would come out and announce that you had been cleared or there had been a settlement in this matter?
If there actually was an audit, maybe.
Exactly. So let's keep an ear out for that and see if they come up and say that, because you think they would if he ever was under it. So the point is it going to be a major scandal? Is it going to be a major financial fuck-up? Is it going to be a major international foreign relations fuck-up? Of anything, is it going to be, appointing the Witchfinder General to the Supreme Court? What is Donald Trump's first major? Now we don't need to count minor fuck-ups, because he's going to fuck something minor up every day. Every time he opens his mouth, there's going to be some kind of, he's going to say something stupid or inappropriate, unless his fucking handlers just keep him in a box somewhere. But what's the first major fuck up going to be. Cult of Cornette members, email me. Don't harass Brian at the drive-through email address.
I was about to say it.
I was going to say, if you're not a VIP member at MLW, we do a second program called The Drive-Through. We answer fan questions every week. We've done a couple of hundred of them, along with a couple of hundred experiences or whatever. You can get them all at MLWradio.com. Go VIP, $2 a month. But send them to Jim Cornette, because why? I can't answer all these fucking emails I get anyway. I at least, need to get some entertaining reading material. Jim Cornette at JimCornette.com. Send me emails with what you think Donald Trump's first major fuck-up will be, and over the next few weeks or however long the democracy lasts, we're gonna read those until such time as all communications are monitored by the government.
And the winner will get a Mack Weldon suit, or whatever we're advertising.
No, hey, now, Mack Weldon, you wear the Mack Weldon stuff underneath, and you wear the indochino suit on top, and then you're all covered, and you smell better and everything.
And you can get your 50-cent razors, and you can just do the whole schmoz.
I've done more than Andy Kaufman in Memphis with the soap promos for grooming the Cult of Cornette. I have shaved you people. I've fitted you with underwear. I've got you custom-made suits. I've fed you nice meals and quality food, and got you money off of everything. It's amazing. It's incredible. And don't forget, and a nice watch from Movement Watches. And believe me, folks, you're going to need to listen. Later on, I'm probably going to be giving tips on how you can make your own soap at home and things like that to save money when we're all in a fucking global depression because of the goddamn Cheeto-faced waffle that we've elected to lead our precious country. And I want to apologize to the rest of the world. I didn't play a part in it, but, they are my countrymen, so I have to be embarrassed along with everybody else at how stupid and gullible some of these people are. Twat waffle. So anyway, I
can't believe you stayed up. I can't believe you stayed up all through. I gave up like around 2 a.m.
But I was incensed. I was genuinely incensed and angry. Not only that I have to be embarrassed to be an American, which I'm embarrassed in the United States of America. I'm embarrassed to be an American right now because we did a stupid thing. And anybody who's not embarrassed is delusional and not admitting it. I'm embarrassed in front of the world. What's more, I'm pissed off for all the people that this is going to impact. Like I said, not me in most cases, but all the people that this is going to impact their lives negatively without him. And I'm sorry, once again, I'm not hoping that he fails. I'm terrified that he's going to fail because he doesn't know what he's doing. And the people he's got with him, their policies have been proven over and over time and time again. They don't fucking work. But I'm not hoping that he fails. But I'm pretty convinced that he's going. The best we can hope for is just don't fuck anything up. He's not going to do anything good. He's not going to bring all these millions and millions of jobs back. He's not going to do these things. But now we have to wonder. We have to sit here for how long is it going to be? And after the first one, then how long is it going to be till the second one? How many crises will there be? How many things will he fuck up? How many times we could have moved forward that we will move back? That's why I was up mad, incensed, angry that so many people are that gullible and that foolish that they've allowed this to happen, and we have to be the laughing stock of the world. I couldn't have gone to sleep if you'd have fucking Xanaxed me with horse tranquilizer.
I had to. I was watching all the different shows. I first realized something was up. I was actually recording the new 605 with Bobby Blaze. I'm having a great time. And I look at my phone and I see the headline, "It's scary close." And I'm like, how could this be? And then I finally finish up. I go to the room and I'm going back and forth between CNN, MSNBC, and CBS to see everything. And once the pollsters, it started with the pollsters. And then it was the liberal commentators. And then it was the overall news staff. They all got suicidal. Yeah, I was like, oh shit. And once the math got to the point where it was like for 2 hours, and it's still, as of now, I think it was like we don't have the votes in for Michigan and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania looks like it's going to go to her. I said it's 2 a.m. They keep showing Hillary headquarters. People look like they're waiting to asteroid the Earth. And they're all just together holding each other crying. And they're having a white boy party a frat house party at the fucking Trump get-together. I said, at this point in time, I'm staying up to get kicked in the balls.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed. I have to go to bed. And I got a few hours sleep, and then I couldn't sleep. And it's a fucking nightmare. It's an American nightmare.
I wish that I would live another 40 or 50 years to see the books when they're written out. And children, and then when they teach in school, children at one point in time, people actually thought that President Obama wasn't doing a good job, and then they'll erupt into laughter because they're looking at a statue of him in the town square. And then they elected Donald Trump, and then the people, like when the German kids are reminded, then we elected Hitler. Fuck. Can you imagine the fact that tomorrow, the best president we've had the best president we've had in 50 years is going to vacate the White House to a goddamn.
Thanks for driving the new Buick. So where are we going for lunch?
I know a place with a really good Philly cheesesteak.
Oh yeah? Where's that?
Philly? Yes. If you want to make some money, you could get a paper route. I'd be happy to drive you my new Buick.
What's a paper route? Oh no, good luck to get out again.
Steven, don't worry, I'll take the new Buick and fill it for him.
Lucky!
Introducing the reimagined 310 horsepower Buick LaCrosse. You'll find any reason to get behind the wheel.
Dad, in 50 years, is going to vacate the White House to a goddamn publicity stunt. The fucking the first lady that we've had that made Jackie Kennedy look like Agnes Moorehead. You know, fuck, she's going to have to be replaced by a Russian mail-order bride and an illegal alien.
But also, it's the guy who tried to delegitimize the presidency. That's the craziest.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, the day this show comes out, Obama's going to welcome the guy that did everything he could to delegitimize his presidency to the White House. And then he's going to have to stand there on the inauguration day as he's sworn in. And
you know what? He'll do it because he's a man, and because he's the smartest guy in the room, and because he's the most honorable person in this equation. He'll do what he's supposed to do. But I'd like to see him pull out a goddamn baseball bat and go all fucking, what is his name, Naven on The Walking. Hey, you don't watch The Walking Dead. The motherfucker with the new heel with the baseball bat. I'd like to see him just cave that fucking. And yeah, hey, you know what, Trump? When you make your enemies list, Nixon had an enemies list, and Trump's going to put his on Twitter. When you make your enemies list, put Jim Cornette at the top of the fucking list, because I just said that the fucking Walking Dead heel ought to cave your orange head in with a fucking baseball bat. What are you going to do about it? Next week on the news, Castle Cornette disappeared. Fuck
Cornette's wrestling collection.
Yeah, fuck this motherfucker and fuck everything he stands for. And it's an insult. But in 50 years, the children in schools in the United States of America are going to be laughing at the United States citizens in the year 2016. Yes. And after President Obama did this and that, the other thing, and there's statues of him everywhere, then they elected the reality TV star. And thus began the dark ages in the long, long ago of the before time.
Well, you know, the one other thing I find interesting now to think about is this is it for Hillary. Hillary's done. Hillary will never run for president again. Hillary will never be around again.
I'm not upset about that, to be honest.
No.
Fuck.
Neither am I. But more than likely, in 4 years, Bernie's going to be too old to run, and he may not want to do it again. Elizabeth Warren, I'm not sure how old she is, but she's not young. Who is that? Who is going to run against Trump in 4 years? Will it be Andrew Cuomo? Will it be Cory Booker? Who will it be? And who can speak to the people that weren't spoken to by Hillary? Hillary was a flawed candidate from the beginning, and it was a mistake, and I said that all along. But who is going to be the person? Biden's going to be too old. Who's going to be the person that the Democrats can put out there to try and defeat Donald Trump?
Well, once again, I have no idea. I don't know, Ted, the answer to your question as who the Democrat's going to be. I don't know that Donald Trump will still be president in 4 years, because they're going to find out something when they have enough time to dig. He could be the one in jail at 4 years. In 4 years, is something going to fucking happen? Who knows what's going to fucking happen? And that's why the markets are going to be volatile. fucking everything's going to be up in the air. Our international relations are going to be fucking insane. And I just want everybody to remember, and we've beat this horse pretty much to death today, and I'm just disgusted, and I want to go back to bed. But I just want everybody to remember this. There's a reason why smart people who know a lot about things are in charge of those things. Because they know a lot about them. And there was not one single newspaper in this country, except I think a local fucking Idaho weekly penny saver, that endorsed Donald Trump as president. Even the Republicans that turned against him in record numbers, because even they, by their standards, and these people ran Sarah Palin, he was unacceptable to them, unfit to serve in the capacity, which not only the president is not just the capacity of telling people in the United States what to do, he represents our country around the world. And Bush was a big enough buffoon, but this guy is beyond the pale. And he's unfit to be president in that respect. Would you respect Donald Trump? Would you want your kids to look up to Donald Trump or want to be like Donald Trump? Especially compared to somebody like a Barack Obama. And so there's a reason why the newspapers didn't endorse him, or the magazines didn't endorse him, the news gathering agencies. There's a reason why the media was critical of him. Because they kept finding out shit that he did, and they blamed it right on him. And there's a reason why Republicans turned away from him in droves as being unfit and not capable. There's a reason why that he got all the press that he got, not because the media is crooked, but because they were reporting the fucking facts. So all those people, from a variety, from the media, from the news, from the world of politics, and 50 million American citizens, all said, no, this motherfucker can't do this job. People that knew the politics of the political world from the outside, covering it, from the inside being in it, and from the way outside just voting on it. All of them agreed that this motherfucker was not fit to do this, and he would be an embarrassment to us. So I just want everybody to remember that, because sooner or later, and I guess our contest will depend on the answers we get in the mail about how soon or what it will be, but sooner or later, this motherfucker is going to fuck up something major, and now we all have to sit here and dwell on what it might be, and the whole nation in 4 years will be addicted to fucking Xanax, because we've let a tribble with the brain of a gerbil and the attention span of a goddamn house cat be elected president. That's as pretty much as simple as I can make it. We could do this all day. It's still unbelievable. Nobody will ever explain it. But we were warned. They told us what was going. The economist said his financial plan will lead us into recession. The politician said he can't govern. The fucking reporters said he's a crook, and nobody listened. You fucking clueless putzes, just because you're mad. Jesus Christ. Alright, should we do this again next week?
I think we can always give it another shot.
Should we just give up now, though?
I think we can always give it another shot.
Should we just give up now, though? Should we just give up now? Is all hope lost?
There's always hope. There's always hope.
I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's the headlight of an oncoming train. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is a world next week, I guess we'll be here. If MLW Radio has not been taken over by the federal government and converted into a fucking propaganda organ for the state. I'm Jim Cornette. He's Brian Last. Donald Trump is now the president of the elect of the United States, and we are a bunch of stupid motherfuckers. We'll see you next week.